Rudolph Giuliani, once hailed as America's mayor for his leadership and resilience in the aftermath of 9/11, is a name recognized across the nation and around the world. His face has become synonymous with crisis management and public service, and for decades, he has been a fixture in the American political landscape. Giuliani is no stranger to the spotlight, having spent much of his life under the intense gaze of cameras and reporters, his every move scrutinized by the public and the press. His career has spanned decades, beginning as a tough federal prosecutor who took on organized crime, then rising to become the mayor of New York City, where he faced some of the city's darkest days with determination and resolve. In more recent years, Giuliani became a controversial advisor to President Trump, often making headlines for his outspoken views and high-profile legal battles, further cementing his place in the public eye. But on a quiet Saturday night in New Hampshire, far from the bustling corridors of power and the glare of television cameras, Giuliani found himself in an entirely unexpected situation, one that had nothing to do with politics or law. While driving along Interstate 93 in Manchester, what should have been a routine trip suddenly turned dramatic. Giuliani became unexpectedly involved in a roadside emergency, a moment that would test his composure in a very different way. The story that unfolded that night wasn't about power, policy, or political maneuvering. Instead, it was about a chance encounter on a dark highway that quickly escalated into a dangerous ordeal, reminding us that life can change in an instant. Even the most recognizable public figures, it seems, aren't immune to the unpredictability and vulnerability of everyday life. No matter how familiar the face, the unexpected can happen to anyone. It was just after 9 p.m. when Giuliani and his driver, Theodore Goodman, were making their way down a dimly lit stretch of interstate. The night was quiet, the hum of the engine blending with the distant sound of passing cars. Suddenly, their attention was drawn to a figure on the shoulder, a woman, her arms waving desperately, signaling for help in the darkness. The urgency in her movements was impossible to ignore, and it was clear that something was terribly wrong. Goodman quickly pulled the car over, headlights illuminating the anxious woman. As they approached, she was visibly shaken, her voice trembling as she explained she was fleeing a violent domestic situation. She had run from her abuser, escaping into the night with nowhere else to turn, hoping someone would stop. Her fear was palpable, her words rushed, her hands shaking. She pleaded for safety, urgently asking for help to contact the police. In that moment, the gravity of her situation became heartbreakingly clear. Giuliani and Goodman listened intently as she recounted her ordeal, realizing just how much was at stake. The roadside, once just a stop along their journey, had become the setting for a life-altering encounter. In an instant, their routine drive transformed into a rescue mission. The urgency of the situation demanded immediate action and compassion. For this woman, Giuliani and Goodman were the first people she encountered after her traumatic escape. Their response, their willingness to help, would shape her path forward and could mean the difference between continued danger and newfound safety. That night, the focus shifted entirely. No longer just travelers, they became lifelines for a stranger in desperate need, united by compassion on the side of a darkened highway. Goodman immediately called New Hampshire State Police, relaying the woman's account and their location. Rather than leaving, Giuliani and Goodman stayed with her, offering reassurance until troopers arrived. Their presence provided comfort and safety in a vulnerable moment. When police arrived, Giuliani and Goodman gave detailed statements, becoming key witnesses. With the woman in police care, they prepared to continue their journey, believing their good deed was done. But as they exited the highway, the night took another unexpected turn. Their act of citizenship was about to be overshadowed by what happened next. Moments after leaving the scene, Giuliani and Goodman's vehicle was struck by another car rolling over in a serious crash. Emergency services rushed them to a local hospital. Both men sustained injuries. The crash, so soon after their roadside assistance, was a cruel twist of fate. Authorities now face two emergencies, a domestic violence case and a high-profile traffic accident. For Giuliani and Goodman, a night of helping a stranger ended with their own lives upended. Sometimes, good deeds come with unexpected consequences. In the days that followed the incident, the New Hampshire State Police held a press conference to address the public's growing curiosity and concern. Officials confirmed that Giuliani and Goodman had played a direct role in assisting the woman involved in the initial accident, stepping in to help her just moments before their own vehicle was struck. Their actions, which unfolded in a matter of seconds, were described as both selfless and courageous by law enforcement. Official statements from both the police and local government clarified the timeline of events, emphasizing the quick thinking and bravery shown by Giuliani and Goodman. Authorities praised their willingness to act as good Samaritans, highlighting how their intervention may have prevented further harm. The press releases also urged the public to remember the importance of helping others in times of crisis, while reminding everyone to exercise caution at accident scenes. Public reaction was swift and varied. Some people took to social media to commend Giuliani and Goodman for their bravery, sharing messages of support and gratitude. Others, however, couldn't help but mention Giuliani's polarizing reputation, sparking debates online and in the media about his past and the complexities of public perception. Despite the mixed opinions, most people seem to focus on the human side of the story, a moment where two individuals, regardless of their backgrounds, stopped to help a stranger in need, only to find themselves in danger. The incident became a reminder of the risks that come with doing the right thing and the unpredictable nature of life itself. As investigations into both the original accident and the subsequent crash continue, authorities are working to piece together every detail. For now, though, the focus remains on the recovery of Giuliani, Goodman, and the woman they tried to help. The community, along with the nation, watches closely, hoping for positive updates. For Giuliani, this story stands apart from his usual headlines. It's not about politics or controversy, but about the unpredictability of fate and the courage it sometimes demands. In this moment, he is simply a person caught in extraordinary circumstances, facing the consequences of a split-second decision to help. Sometimes, even the most familiar faces are thrust into situations they never could have anticipated, reminding us all that anyone can become a hero or a victim when life takes an unexpected turn.